Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day. So today, I wanted to follow up on the video from yesterday about the excuse me, the retargeting and fixing animations. I may not have gone over the fixing the animations properly. So I made a time lapse video about an hour of work on these animations. I'm gonna play it for you. Before we start, I want to thank everybody, all of the viewers, all the views who that came in yesterday. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody who I've bought assets from and who has provided free assets for what I'm working on. Again, I'm working on this is the character from N-Hance Studios. Go and check them out. A lot of their content is really awesome. I'll leave the link to their YouTube in the description below. But without further ado, hope you enjoy this video. I'm gonna go ahead and push play and go ahead and give you guys some of my thoughts on this. Alright, so as you can see right off the bat, I am, luckily, my friend Elound, who is also my programmer on a game that we're gonna be working on pretty soon, or have been working on, reminded me about the skeleton tree. And it's a lot easier to go ahead and open up your animation that you want to adjust and use the skeleton tree to pin down which joints you want to use. So really, it's a lot of tedious work. Once again, I'm like I said before, um, but I think it pays off in the end. It really pays off. Here I'm fixing the fingers, trying to fix the hands, and it took me quite a few tries to get it there, but it's nothing I haven't done before. It's just something I don't like to do. Um, but you know, it is what it is. If you want a good animation to come through in your game, and you have a something like the dynamic combat system, uh, if you're using that to retarget animations, or pretty much retargeting animations in general, most of the time you get these wonky animations with the fingers kind of like messed up, or some of the legs. You'll see that I work on the legs and on the head at the beginning you saw, um, and then it takes me a few tries. Excuse me. It takes me a few tries to get everything done. Uh, Going back and forth from the hands, trying to get it good. As you can see, there's like a weird uh, I don't know what to call it, a protrusion in the knuckles. They look broken. You know, it looks like somebody came and snapped their fingers. Um, but this is kind of what you gotta do. It's work, you know. Um, and this was an hour, and I think I only was able to fix I think two animations by the end of this video. Um, this is also a progress report because I am working on implementing the character, and I want to make sure that all my animations look good. So here I'm adjusting the middle finger and doing everything that I can to make it look fluid. So one thing to note is that if as long as your lighting, well, your lighting doesn't have to be on, but it does help in certain situations. Right here, I do have it on. You'll see me turn it off later. Excuse me, I have to burp. A little bit of heartburn. Um, so one thing to note is that when you're fixing these animations, you can actually tell where the model is stretched out by using the texture or the material on the model. You'll be able to tell where it's stretched out too far. Uh, you can see where the model is like overlapping a little bit too much in the hand. Um, those are some of the more subtle things to look for. Um, Once you kind of line up the bones, you can start telling exactly where you might want to leave it. That was my first test right there, checking it out. And right here, I turned off my lighting, um, mostly because some of the shadows were getting in the way. Uh, and right here, you could see the knees were like out of place. So I shifted them over a little bit, and it seems to have helped. The feet as well were really weird. the ball of the feet needed to be adjusted. Uh, and then I start looking at the spine, trying to fix it. She looked a little bit too tall or too stretched out for the actual model, so that's why I was editing the spine itself. Um, the neck again, I think I end up uh, messing with the neck some more later, and it's just really repetitive. You go over and over again to make sure that the animations look somewhat clean, at least enough, because it's never gonna be perfect, you know. A lot of people strive for being perfect, and it's I like quality, but nothing's ever gonna be perfect in my opinion. Especially when it comes to anything artistic. If you spend your time trying to make something perfect, uh, you're really only going to get to that point where you think it's good enough as an artist. Um, because if you stay in that mode of trying to be perfect the whole time, you're probably never gonna finish what you're working on, you know. And a lot of artists, I think, know that. Sometimes you just have to cut it and that's it, you know. It's finished. Um, at this point, I think I was starting to like it, but I feel like her stance was a little too manly. Um, so I do, and her hands looked a little bit big at the moment. Um, and I didn't really like it. They looked manly. They looked like manly hands. And I'm not sure if that's due to the model itself, or if it was due to the stretching when the animations were retargeted. Uh, so this is the process, you know. If you want to retarget animations most of the time, this has happened to me plenty of times. With more intricate rigs that have fingers or have toes and things like that. Um, that's this tends to happen. Uh, at least to me, I don't know about anyone else, but to me it happens. Um, and I mean, I know for a fact that these models are using the Unreal Engine skeleton and rig. So, well, I'm pretty sure those are the same things. But I'm pretty sure that they're using the Unreal Engine. Most certain. I went when I bought it. It said using the Unreal Engine rig specifically because I wanted to retarget animations. So right here, I'm testing out the character, and the shoulders are still like up here, you know. So for those of you who watched the video yesterday or my previous video, can't say yesterday because by the time this one's or somebody watches this. Anyways, back to it. So right here, I'm adjusting the hands for the run. And since they're clenched, I'm really only going to edit the thumb, um, because the fingers don't matter too much. So again, with the not being too perfect or trying to be perfect, um, I went for the quality and the time, uh, so that I could at least get the thumb not to look like it was popped out of its socket. Excuse me, that heartburn. And I did want to give her a little more of a feminine pose or feminine idol and a feminine run. So I kind of tried to bring in the arms a little bit more, using the clavicle and using the upper arm. Um, here's the thumb again, trying to get that thumb a little tucked in, trying to make it look a little more feminine as well. Uh, I think the worst part, I believe, was the foot. This one, the front foot was all right because it starts in the front. When I'm keying, by the way, whenever I move uh, a joint, I tend to key right away after I'm done. You can move a few joints here and there, and then key it, and and the Unreal Engine will key every frame or every joint that you have moved. Um, I want to say, I don't know, since your last key. Uh, so this foot was giving me so much trouble because it starts off in the back, and it's more safe to key at 0 frames than to key anywhere else. But I did start keying like around that 34, and you'll see that it still didn't come out very good. I suppose. I mean, it's a very, you can notice it just a very little bit once I finish it, uh, but it's not too much of a jitter. Um, and as you can see, this is probably the longest one. I was having trouble with this for sure. Uh, the foot was really annoying. That left foot. Um, and then I believe maybe the knee or the calf looked a little odd at the end, but I mean I liked it. It wasn't too bad in my opinion. And then I also start working on the sockets, and for some reason it's not working. I think the sockets, at least for the dynamic combat system, won't adjust themselves in game until I set my montages. Once I set my montages into the proper places and make my montages and blend spaces, the sockets will be fine. I'm wondering though if, because I'm trying to remember everything. I'm wondering if it has to be done in a different animation other than the idle. But even in idle, the shield isn't on the arm; they're stuck at the ground. So I've done this before, and I just have to remember what might be wrong. Um, and I'm trying. I'm just I'm going along with what I'm doing here, and I kind of stopped with the sockets here because I think that's for another video. Uh, so I'll end up not finishing the sockets, especially because like this video ended up at an hour, and I didn't want to make it too long. Um, so I'm here like trying to adjust the shield and whatnot, and it's not popping up on her arm, so I need to figure out exactly what's wrong. Uh, but I think that's about it. So thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate all the views. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Uh, Hit me up on my TikTok, on Facebook. You can find me at the Lifeline Squad. My TikTok's gonna be more for like maybe posting videos, video games of me playing games with my fiance, and things like that. So if you guys want to see that, hit me up on TikTok. If you guys have any questions, message me in the comments. So thank you. I appreciate you. Take care.